This is my sketchbook tour. I apologize for the background and everything. This is the third time I've made this because my family keeps interrupting. This is my angelfish. I loved this sketchbook at the time because my previous sketchbook, which I actually would love to show, but it got ruined by some water. So these are my OCs. I draw mainly characters that I'm writing novels about at the time. This is Lynn. She's my favorite because I love drawing her hair. And these are her older brothers, Oxian and Keelik. So more Lynn with her favorite people. Lynn. So I think my rule, this is Obsidia with Zephin. They're completely different OCs. My rule for this sketchbook was I had to draw a background or multiple characters before I could flip the page. This is Darren. He and Lynn are friends. I drew this dress. I love this dress. Then I did this heart thing. Hated it. So I redrew it over here. And then I lost interest in the background. This is another OC. I think her name was Aileen. And, it's just a little story. I ended up giving her a different story. This is just a schoolgirl. I wanted to draw the outfit, and the hallway is based on my middle school hallway. This is Obsidia and her little brother Colin. That's just a random elf in modern clothes, and I was working on facial expressions at the time. So I saw a marker tutorial and I was all excited to try it and make markers look really cool. What I didn't know at the time was that marker tutorial was for Copic markers, which are alcohol-based, and watercolor markers do not do the same thing. So I redrew it because I ruined the first one. This is Obsidia with Zephin, Colin, and this is the villain Jabor. Working on foreshortening. So one of the things about looking back at old sketchbooks is you can see mistakes that you tended to make, and I apparently liked light bulb heads. So this is at college, I believe, the first month, and basically Lynn and Keelik are fighting over Oxian's pancakes. This is another character, Trigger, who is a post-apocalyptic world. This is Lynn, so that's Trigger's outfit. That's very Lynn's world is basically medieval, but I draw her in clothes from all different time periods. This is based on Final Fantasy IV. This is my friend and I ice skating. That's Oxian. They're playing. So this is Trigger and her people. So this is Tabby. I forget his name. I forget his name. I forget her name. And I don't even know what that is. That's my sister talking. This is Lynn in a more Romanesque outfit. She and Darren are dancing under the stars. I have no idea who this character is, but he's not Darren, because he has firepower, because that's a phoenix. But, I can't remember. It's Lynn. I think every high schooler draws people with wings. That phoenix guy again. This is a wind-based guy, no clue who he is. These two are playing tag, I remember. And looking back now, it does not look like that is what they're intending to do, but they're playing tag. It's Lynn fighting in the sky. This is a character based on Assassin's Creed. She's got the daggers, and she's basically a fiery one, so she throws little glass orbs filled with fire bombs. Aileen and Fletcher, that's from a different story, which I wrote actually in a year, although, it's terrible. It's so lame. But this is Aileen again, and she is a swordsmith. So she made these swords that hook together and can come apart and be two swords. And she controls the elements using those medallions. And she pretends to be the Blue Phantom. because she has to hide herself from her uncle. So this is a little comic where she's trying to rescue someone as the Blue Phantom. Here, my friend's little sister had gotten a book on how to draw clothes, and I worked really hard on drawing modern clothes so that I could improve, and I think I did. This is Raisin. I called her something else in the story, but she's just Raisin. Lynn. This is Lauren. Lauren was a later addition, but Lauren is Lynn's twin sister, and actually I think in the most recent version I've written, she is Lynn's older sister. So I've actually rewritten Lynn's novel 4 or 5 times now, completely, and Lauren changes each time. It's Aileen fighting Raisin, Aileen and Fletcher, Aileen with her "oops, I killed a dragon" face, and Fletcher. These are my favorite characters at the time. You can see Lynn is wearing really modern clothes, and I was obsessed with page boy hats at the time. I was so disappointed they didn't look good on me. This is one of my favorite pictures of all time. I know it's not the best drawn, it's in no way professional, but I love the idea of this knight breaking free of her chains with her justice, loyalty, mercy, humility, and honor coming out of her heart. These are the beta knights because beta fish are awesome. That's Aileen. She's being taken over by some goop. Here are my characters again, because I kind of at the time was obsessed with bringing them all into the same world. They're not from the same world. And these are my characters, annoying the characters of my best friend. My best friend actually just published her novel. She's a little bit ahead of me, but, you know, I'm full-time employed, and she's a stay-at-home, so it is what it is. Lynn, again in modern clothes, and she's writing things in blood on the walls in runes, because that's just a Lynn type thing to do. It's actually not, but I really liked that picture. This is Aileen and Fletcher. These are video game characters from The Glory of Hercules, which I actually really enjoy. I've played it 4 or 5 times all the way through. This is the main character who you get to name, and then these are his friends that join him along the way. They all think they're Hercules somehow. Lean on a horse. That's actually one of the better horses I've drawn. I am not talented at drawing horses, or animals in general. This is Aileen, and for some reason, I really like the idea of clothes that are just tied on. I know they're not the most, they're not generally the best looking, and nor are they, can't think of the word right now, modest, but it is what it is. At this point, I think my mom had gotten a magazine that was weird, but I drew all the clothes out of it. Oxy and Keelik and Lynn in the bath. I don't know about everyone else. Everyone always thought this was weird, but I always took baths with my brother and sister when we were really little, and my cousins when we were at Grandma's house staying over, and I never thought anything was wrong with it, and those are some of the best memories of my childhood. That's my ideal room. This I actually entered into a drawing contest, and I got an honorable mention in, although I don't like it now. This is Obsidia. Actually, she's Rain in this one. This one, so it's a really simple story, and it's really dumb. But at the time, I kept having this dream of, like, being in this place that was really, really light-colored and white, like marble, and there were stained glass windows that just let in a bunch of different colored light, and it was pretty, and just laying there, enjoying the light. Lynn and Darren, and outfits from those magazines. So this is Lynn down here, and this is Corinne and Anne, and these are the first 2 books. Lynn is actually the 3rd book. I just happen to like her better than the other two. I like Anna a whole lot, but I had already written her story. And Corinne is the second book, and her story needs a lot of work. Celine and Fletcher again. No clue who she is, but I thought the outfit was really cool at the time. It was not. This is Lynn. Lynn's favorite food is apples, so she and her brothers are out collecting apples. This is Lynn and Lauren. Here's Aileen with her medallions. This is a desert elf from Mabinogi. And, these three are sleeping. It's Lynn, Keelik, and Oxian. I really like showing how close the relationship is, even when they were little. And Lauren's not actually there. Lauren, I debated letting her exist for a very long time. I actually drew this in night class. It was called Women in Mystery, and she's based on Nancy Drew. This is Lynn and Darren. I had a friend who wanted to be dressed as a peacock, so I designed her a peacock outfit. Even though girl peacocks aren't actually all that cute. This is Aileen, and she's fighting. The blue phantom at one point becomes its own corporal figure, so she has to fight him. This is Lynn with Anne and Corinne, and yeah, that's just down there. It should definitely swoop in more. Lynn in this picture is not particularly happy, which is unusual, but that is because the first two, Anne and Corinne, actually failed at their task, and she is the one who has to succeed. That's Aileen. This is Lynn, and she's giving money to Darren, and her siblings are in the foreground. This is, I don't know who this is, but I pretty much just drew it because I loved the idea of this coat thing. This is Aileen and Fletcher. Aileen again with another character, I forget his name. Aileen with wings. This is Lynn, and I drew this background after being at Watkins Glen in New York State, which is just a beautiful place. So it's basically waterfalls going down all of these rocks, and it's just beautiful. I drew several pictures, Lynn and apples. Here's Lynn and Lauren, again at Watkins Glen. This is Lynn, Keelik, and Oxian, and they're actually in armors that I had in Mabinogi. This is the first page of my story, illustrated, so there's a blizzard, and someone's walking closer, and it's Lynn, and she steps, and there's bad ice, and she falls through, and then falls down, and eyes in the darkness, and a big wolf thing picks her up and drags her by the cloak and sets her down. So that's my sketchbook from my senior year in high school and my first year of college. It's not, it's not anything professional or great, but I don't know. I just wanted to go through and remember and social people my development of my characters. It's by no means my first sketchbook. I think I had filled 4 or 5 by this time, but they had gotten destroyed in, I think my room flooded. No, my sister's room flooded. They were in my sister's room and ruined them. So, for posterity. Alright, well, thank you for watching if you did, and I don't know, see you in my second sketchbook tour.